I didn't think any of the dining room furniture pieces were really appropriate for particle use, so I brought in this little chameleon model. I just brought in the chameleon, I didn't bring in its eyes, so it's going to be raining blind chameleons in my dining room. Should be fun. Let's go ahead and close this. We'll head back to my content browser, and in particles, I will make a new particle, and let's call this one meshes. Oh, it looks like I never made an image for the fire, so I'll just make a thumbnail really quickly just to finish that up, and oh, so much better. So I'll double click into my mesh particle, and for this one I'll just right click in the bar between the emitter and the requirements, and under type data I will set this to mesh data. So exciting! When I click into mesh data, I can switch this to my chameleon. And the chameleon is pretty small, so that should be okay. Now it did not bring the texture in with it, which is kind of interesting. So I'll go down to required, and oh, we just updated with the texture. Sometimes it doesn't, and you do have to go through and force it to texture. Just like with the others, I'm going to set this to go by velocity. And under spawn, I probably don't want 20 chameleons at a time. Let's go a little lower. We'll do maybe 2 chameleons at a time. And I'll give them a slightly longer lifetime. Let's go up to maybe 10 or 20. I don't know, you could have them live for a really long time and just build up a lot of chameleons in your scene. Under initial size, again, 25 by 25 by 25 is really big, but since it's hard to determine what scale looks like here, I'm going to take a moment and just save this particle, go back to my content browser, and put the chameleons somewhere in the scene. Just so I can see what they're doing. Oh god, they are huge and sideways. Fascinating. Maybe under mesh alignment. No, that should be okay. Aha. X-axis facing, no up. Let's try Z up? No. Well, eventually I will find the right way up. But the important thing is that under initial size, I am going to bring them back to their normal size, which should be 1 by 1 by 1. And let's just save this and check it out and see if that gets me a normal size chameleon. Yes! There we go. Nice normal chameleons. So I'm feeling good about this, and I'm going to leave the initial velocity just as is, and I'm going to leave the color over life just as is. In order to make them do something a little bit more exciting, what I am going to do is I'm going to add the constant acceleration node that we used back in the flame particle. And with this one, what I am going to do is put in that negative 9.8 units per unit in order to simulate gravity. And now I am not seeing any chameleons at all, which is fun. Sometimes you lose them. And look, now they're shooting up and coming right back down. So I'm getting whole bunches of jumping chameleons everywhere in my scene, which is really everything that I've ever wanted in life. So I'm pretty happy with that. Oh, that's lovely. I'm going to leave off there, and I imagine that I've probably given you just enough information to drive yourselves crazy. Oh, there they are. They were just really small. they were really small particles. So yes, I imagine that I've given you just enough information to drive yourselves completely crazy with this, and that you're probably going to have a lot of fun as you go. So I think that the best thing that you can do really is to play around with whatever you're doing, and just have some fun. Mess with the particles, get them to be what you want. I think each of you, every single one of you, has the opportunity to use a particle system in your scene somewhere. I hope that I've given you just enough information that you can add the particles in a way that you like without driving yourself too crazy, but that you can also be creative with them and have a really good time and, put together a room full of chameleons that shoot up and then rain down like a beautiful fountain of chameleons. So enjoy yourselves, have some fun with the particles, and hopefully I'll get to see what you've done very soon.